r/sex workers. Kate Moon says. SDS and clients asking you to verify. Included photo. Spasecad at 224 says. You just know he was typing this out with one hand too. Mr. Cyanide says. Can I get laundry list of items? Sure. That's $50. A photo, plus a $100 rush fee and $9.99. For tax. How do you want to pay? Wide Pair 5640 says. Is this real? Jesus. Sprinkles_sparkle says. Immediately block and move on. Blinks A Albert says. He done lost his mind. Relix says. I had to do this to verify my YouTube account. Hurricane Katrina says. He forgot the partridge in a pear tree shot. Battered Sav 82 says. Is he paying for those or? Paulo 987,654,321 says. Madness. Struggle for 3054 says. Da fuck is this? Lol. Monday Play 23 says. I hope this is not FR, because that clearly someone collecting photos and possibly plans on using to scam or sell your content. Lol. Ignore babes. r/sex workers. Fat Backward says. Love how they ask for pictures yet ghost you afterwards. I understand they want to verify it, rather feet or video chat. But half the time they just want free pictures of you, which isn't something I like doing, especially if I had photos on the ad already. Included photo. Seeking Wealth Cuck says. Pic collectors are the worst. Specialist Code 8266 says. I ask this too, lol, the demands are unreal. Opposite Fee 3805 says. That's why I don't bother sending them. Never have. I also ignore hey or hi intro texts. It never leads anywhere. I still get many of these texts. Sweet_39 says. I've come to realize most just want to see the person behind the ad. They don't really wanna go meet him up, none of that, they just wanna see the face behind the ad. Lucky Shaquette says. Today I played dumb. Lol, tell me you've been slow without telling me you've been slow, time waster. Pics. Me, what? TW, pictures? Me, what? TW, do you have pics? Me, I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're asking. TW, do you have a picture of yourself? Me, oh yeah, I have many. TW, can I see one? Me, of course. They're available on my ad. Where you got my number? TW, silence edited for formatting. Karen says. Anyone who is saying they are going to book an appointment then asks for pictures 99% of the time is bullshit. If they are going to see you shortly, why would they need another picture? r/sex workers. Hurricane Katrina says. Funny masturbation meme. Included photo. Mosquitosalki says. Called out as I sit here contemplating a session with my vibrator. Rami 0507 says. Pretty accurate, yeah. Aborted account 72 says. For men it's also if we are bored or we need to go sleep. One wank and it's. r/sex workers. Putatin Mitasi says. What is the scam here? He literally just followed me on and sent this? His phone number is covered. Included photo. EL Grey Place Games says. He could just be the type of person who likes to give random gifts. You'll know in a couple weeks to a month. C#2410 says, this happens because some guys want to show appreciation. He said he doesn't get on there often, and I've had a guy send me his number. I ended up texting him. I never even met with him, and he sent 2k a month for like 4 months. Flat Employment 3011 says, gaining your trust for something. Blackber says, wanting to take things off platform and potentially trying to bait you with a tip. Even specifying small and an offer of quick cash sounds potentially sketch. Could be trying to entice you into off-platform contact, to be a weirdo/ass, or try to get you to meet up or something. r/SexWorkers. Tight_display 4514 says, do you think sex work should be legalized everywhere? I live in Sydney, Australia, where it's not only legal, but sex workers' rights are protected by the law. I work in a brothel, and if the management infringes on my rights, which they do unfortunately, they like to charge us for condoms and lube. That's illegal and disgusting. I can go to a special organization that protects our rights and make a complaint, and they'll stage an immediate intervention with the business. Or if a client doesn't pay for an extra service, I can go to a special non-for-profit lawyer and they'll write a formal letter demanding money for the service. Or today, for example, I had signs of non-standard, so I went to a free clinic for sex workers, and they did non-standard check complete with blood test, anal, vaginal and throat swabs, and talked to me about workplace safety, and raised concerns that my clients push my boundaries too often. They also gave me free PrEP, antivirals, and put me down for a free contraceptive implant. Or if I ever get harassed, I can go straight to the police and they'll do what they can to get justice. My question is, do you think it should be like this everywhere? Sex work exists probably in every country of the world, and its criminalization does nothing but put sex workers in a very vulnerable position. Obviously, it's not a question with a straight answer, but what do you think? Sugarushka says, decriminalized. Do you think it should be like this everywhere? Should it be like this? Yes. Will it be like this? Not necessarily. Also, just because something is legal doesn't mean that people are going to enforce it or protect you. It really depends how sex worker friendly and non-misogynistic the culture is in general. For example, in the US, assault is illegal, and you can be charged, so is rape, but that doesn't mean the police, medical workers, and other people will necessarily take the women seriously and go after the domestic abusers or rapists. Domestic abusers go scot-free, even though assault is illegal, and rape victims aren't provided resources and often heavily scrutinized though sexual assault is illegal. Birth control is also fully legal in the US, but people will still slut-shame women who take it in certain regions, and there has been issues with pharmacies intentionally delaying or refusing to provide the prescribed birth control pills to female patients. Honestly, in a place like the US, even if sex workers were protected on paper, I don't know if the authorities would necessarily enforce protection of sex workers simply due to stigma alone. They already don't protect disabled people, LGBT, and racial minorities from discrimination at work, even though on paper they are all about equal opportunity. Flat Employment 3011 says, no, it shouldn't be legalized, because it's not a crime to begin with. It should be decriminalized. I'm specifically talking about escorting and sex between two consenting adults. Edit, I, myself, would never be a sex worker in a country like Australia with all the laws and how to have sex legally if $ is exchanged. Nor would I work in a brothel in Nevada, even if my type was welcome there. I actually find the very idea of government in people's bedrooms abhorrent, but it's all the rage in the US with the dismantling of Roe v. Wade, etc. What would be great is to see it decriminalized and have people start minding their own ing business. WalrusFit 9574 says, do you know what is the most comical about it? What would be the difference between meeting for sex and getting paid for it, and meeting for sex and getting paid for a porno? The only difference is that there is a camera taking photos or videos. Other than that, you are still getting paid to have sex. So why one is a crime and the other isn't? And like they say, it is a victimless situation. Both agree on doing it and no one is complaining about it, so let people be. TTTT27 says, decriminalization, as opposed to legalization, is best. Decriminalization simply means that, just as it is not a concern of the government, if two consenting adults decide to sleep together, it is likewise not a concern of the government, if they also exchange money. Who you sleep with is your business, not the government's. Orville Red Coca says, I'm all for civil disobedience in the US. Severe Yesterday 6969 says, if the authorities legalize it, profits will decrease. The choice is yours. Lula Violets says, no, if it was legalized I wouldn't make so much money. It should be decriminalized. Violet Spectrum Disrada says, decriminalize it, especially if going legal would necessitate working for a brothel. It's my understanding that legalization drives rates down. I don't like that. On top of that, having to fork over my earnings to the house. I wouldn't be too fond of that. I don't want a government appointed pimp. Hard for you _Inca says, absolutely. Robotic Mask says, I think sex work should be legal in my country, which it is. I also think that every country has the right to decide whatever they want, as long as it doesn't affect any other country, and people of one country should not mess with internal affairs of other countries. That said, I would like it to be legal in most, but not all countries. I don't really like homogenized legislation in topics of contention, as you lose the ability to see what is better or worse than. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.